TikTok, and I think that can be a positive thing, but I think 99% of people like literally waste.
They're going to be vastly disappointed.
Yeah, 100%. And like
they're gonna feel more like a personal failure than anybody else.
Yeah, and I think that's so scary that like there are kids that are like, oh, it's actually not cool to like go study psychology, and like it's actually like cooler to like dance, and like it's not that there's anything like wrong with
I would actually disagree to some degree. I would say what we're lacking is we've opened up a new job sector for sure. Creator economy will exist, it will be there, and it has actually way more profitable and way better of a path if you focus on it, but if you focus on it in a smart way. Now, if you truly are just like, I'm going to be an influencer, it's a side idea, and you just do some dances and stuff, and you think I'll blow up at some point. TikTok only originally could you blow up for dancing, right? The supply and demand curve changes, and then it's like, what's going to go viral needs to be more unique. Right now, though, if any kid, rather than focusing on college, just buys interesting products or makes an interesting product like my nuclear bar, focuses on figuring out how to make it viral on TikTok, they will be a millionaire for sure by the end of what they would have done in college. So like,
why everyone wants to do it.
Right. So like the idea, that's why I had the idea for like the creator university, because that is really what like this institution isn't there to put people through. Most people don't know how to like organically shit on themselves, be like, I'm not doing it right. Let me learn from the best and like really focus on like going viral. Because a lot of people are okay with their mediocreness of like this video, like they think they're getting better. It's almost like the American Idol style thing for singing, right? Without structure, with sort of viewing yourself in the artistic realm, a lot of people cave into like not looking at the actual like what value am I gaining.
And that does support the notion that it's an untapped market for. So I'll give you an analogy that is funny because it's totally new and yet it's not. We've always had kids in Little League that little Johnny's going to be a major leaguer. You know, in football, dance, ballet, music, acting, you know, you're going to be a celebrity someday. Every one of them is this pyramid of a very few people reach the top. Those are the people who are crazy rich. Just a little bit below that, and you don't do well at all. You invested a ton in that to get to the kind of near the top of that pyramid. So to me, this isn't that much different. And all of it in terms, if you really also squint, what is feeding it? Who's paying for this? It's advertising. It's advertising pays for sports. It's advertising that pays for movies and TV.
Correct.
Well,
you know, it's
I
just.
thought you were going the route of.
I'm just saying it's
it's
not a new notion of everybody wants to do it. It's just the new thing that everyone wants to do.
Going the notion of who pays for it is parent, not advertising.
Oh,
So,
well, I mean, all these people who don't make it all the way up the pyramid,
Little
little Johnny pays for sure, and the parents pay.
Playing in NFL,
But it's a low startup cost,
This is
right? Other than
this is
time.
where I think you guys. So we could calculate this out, and basically ESPN, so football, and that's where the money is coming from. Football is the advertisement dollars at the top. Is a sector where there's how many people want to be a famous football player, and also how many can that you get slimmed down big time off just your stats, so things you can't control. And the advertising dollars, like out of all advertising that happens, football is still like 1% of that market. The differential now is like social media is becoming the main attention platform of the world. And so the market is actually, you know, just so much bigger, to the degree that any single person who focuses for a year on figuring out how to go viral on TikTok truly can. And where you need to focus it is you can have content that when it goes viral, you get $0. But if you're doing a product, if you're doing something that someone can buy, that will directly convert. And you're getting, if you get 1 million views, that's 20 entire full football stadiums watching your advertisement for a minute. Like, paying for that advertising is insane. The amount of actual advertisement value.
It's how many people watching the game on TV is what you're comparing to, which is millions.
20 full football stadiums is how I just represent the amount of people, of eyeballs at a single thing. Not like you're getting at 20 different games.
Yeah, okay.
50,000 people a stadium. That's actually insane that you can do that.
No, you know what's really funny is this is also Back to the Future in terms of the original beginning of TV. They didn't separate. Do you ever see this? Really old TV, black and white TV shows? They didn't separate the ads from the TV. They didn't stop for 2 minutes and do 30-second commercials. They just went in the middle of it, and the host of the show would say, everybody should use Tide, and then they started having it show up in the show. But the early on is actually exactly what is now coming back.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is, like, Mr. Beast is richer than, I think, any football star. And I think YouTube is still emergent as, like, the future of TV. It's growing year over year. So I think, like, relative to the idea that, like, I still think you're correct. Thinking when you're young, I'm going to be a football pro is dumb. But I think there's actually a smart choice. I think if you're young and you say, I want to be an influencer, I think that is correct. But I think the path to get there is the thing that somewhat doesn't exist. So it's like, if parents do want their child to succeed, there's not really institutions that you can send them to right now where it's like they're going to hack their growth and they're going to figure out how to win and succeed. And that's a piece of what I want the warehouse to become. You know, it's going to be a content facility. And then because my resource cost for that content is 10 times less, but I'm still having, and I might want you to set this up if you're down for me. You can use a Raspberry Pi, but there is other kits I was viewing. I saw a company who does it, but I think I can buy their tech off AliExpress for a lot cheaper, which is you buy USA SIM cards and you stick them in either the Raspberry Pi, and you're basically just creating a proxy so that over there I can connect the phones to the American SIMs. Because obviously the attention value of America is far greater. So it's like for the Nutri-Tailor bars, I'm going to have them create content for the Nutri-Tailors.
You lost me. Hooked phone SIM cards? Is that
Phone SIM card, Raspberry Pi, SIM connector.
So that it does what?
And then there's a software on the computer that it connects to, and it creates a proxy. Then from the phone, I use an app to connect to the proxy. So my signal service is going through America. And so when I upload to TikTok, it's uploading to American TikTok.
Oh, because
if I upload it.
So you're trying to hack something. Somebody's trying to keep you from connecting. Let's put it in a more negative term. Why is somebody making that so hard?
I think that's what he's saying.
No. Well,
So
if he has to go invent something, then obviously it's very hard. You can't do it now. So you're wanting to.
So here's the reason why.
What's that?
I mean, yeah, you have to use a VPN already in India, but when you post from a VPN, so one, American value is more.
Right.
Two, when you're on social media and you post, it is showing to your local distribution. It shows your nation. You post in LA, it's going to the US. You post in India, it goes to India. So I want to post to USA. Now, the reason why
VPN good enough?
The reason why VPN is not good enough is that people have set up a ton of bots to repost content through VPNs. And so VPN traffic is already considered sort of body traffic. So you won't get valued as the same user. If I'm logging in from an iPhone in the United States, it says, okay, this is a high value person. And so we want to push their content to a certain degree. Why
isn't there just some video forwarding that, I mean, it's just bits. Why don't the bits, why isn't there some video forwarding service on the cloud that just goes and sends it to the US and then it just plays like it's live? It's just bits, it's just video. So it happens a few seconds or minutes later, who cares?
We're just uploading it to TikTok.
Right. So use some cloud service, get it over into Amazon Cloud in the US, and then from there, play it like...
If it's on Amazon Cloud, how do I put it into TikTok? Through a phone.
How do you put anything? Right, okay. So it's on the Amazon Cloud on a phone that's in the US.
Or but to automate a phone process, to transfer an auto thing and have it tap the buttons, it's not easy.
Really? So it's got to detect that it's coming from a phone? How does TikTok recognize it's coming from a phone?
MAC address, SSID.
It couldn't come from a laptop?
You can't upload to TikTok through the browser.
Really?
And they do that because you'll get a lot more spam content. It's much harder to automate stuff like bots on mobile, especially on iPhone. So they don't want spam content, but they want to push new users' content to some people. And then if you do spam content, you're going to get 0 views on every video. They're going to push it to 0 people.
That happened to us somehow. Yeah, it does happen. And if you there's a whole algorithm for if you delete TikToks, it
Oh, you got treated as spam? Is that what you mean happened to us?
Somebody was talking about something. Yeah, because we went
forever now or every time?
I don't really know, Lee. You're asking the very wrong person. But that happened to us to some degree.
Are you planning on hiring just content creators?
Yeah, and training them. Because the funny thing is,
They don't even
they use Instagram Reels.
Instagram Reels. Isn't that almost more?
YouTube Shorts is the most lucrative right now.
Instagram Reels is better than TikTok has been. But that might be because
Instagram Reels pushes more to your followers, and your followers on Instagram are always more engaged to you.
They did that on purpose because they were trying to compete with TikTok. So they're like, let's make this more better for people to post on Instagram Reels.
Instagram Reels will focus more on making sure you get
100%
views rather than on focusing on a global algorithm that maximizes.
But I don't care enough.
So the fact of the matter is you should post on all three because each video you can repurpose to each thing. There
Yeah.
does need to be an automation for that.
Does, and there doesn't exist one?
Correct. There is so much value.
That would be super valuable.
Oh, there's so much value in doing automation for social stuff. Like any person who creates any automation thing and it's good, it blows the fuck
You
up.
could like make an app and people, everyone would download
There's
it.
your new career.
Yeah.
Why isn't that already there?
You have to update it a lot.
Because they keep changing their formats or algorithms?
Yeah, I mean they just keep
They're trying to throw roadblocks?
right. You're playing a war. They're anti-botting and you're botting. Like my original Instagram thing, you know.
That's
Those
how they fight bots by
Yeah.
continuing changing it?
But these companies make an absolute killing. Like these are SaaS companies. They do so well. But yeah, I mean it's part of my stack of like I just need to be like in a perfect world, I have people ready who are like ready to just take on a full career with their lives and they're a software engineer. They come in and have an hour-long meeting with me. We whiteboard out the shit that they need to do. I give them the roadmap, you know. Here's what you're figuring out. Here's what you're dedicating your time to. And then I have a person who's like now hacking that thing out. And then the whole ecosystem flourishes. You know what I mean? That's like my ideal future that I'm envisioning. It's gonna be beautiful. So then the cool thing is like with Nutrailer, I had the one video make 60 grand in revenue. I mean that's half profit. Won't be half profit now with the broken bars, but
I never even really thought of this.
Yeah.
All these,
just I know.
all these social
Non-help.
Okay, all these social media things, I never thought of this before. They really, truly only want humans interjecting into the system, and they are actively fighting against non-humans.
Correct. So people are farming, right? It's a war of capital in versus how much capital I can get out. So pornish videos, OnlyFans videos.
Get rid of like bots.
People will post the OnlyFans videos of like a girl shaking her ass 1,000 times on 1,000 different accounts with a link that's then having funneling over there. So as long as they're spending less on their proxies and software than they're printing at the end, then they scale that up and more of TikTok has spam content on it, which is a worse user experience. So it's like they just need to make it not profitable for you to do this. So the thing is when you do it correctly and you do it not super spammy, like you're just trying to automate for the average user who just wants to post, you know, these are tools that like you're not trying to go, hey, I want to post this 1,000,000 times on 1,000,000 different phones, you know, because then you need to get 1,000,000 different MAC addresses from each different phone. But yeah, if you just kind of want to make a tool for your own phone connection, the proxies are actually really expensive. This is an arbitrage in and of itself, again, because in markets that have a ton of profit potential, where there's not a lot of people fighting for the supply, these are the best markets to play in always. And so that one of those markets is exactly what I explained to you, Dad, setting up the systems for SIM cards to sell 5G proxies. 5G mobile proxies is the highest quality proxy that one can connect to. Non-VPN, dedicated, you know, this is where when I'm automating on social, it goes through. That costs $100 a month anywhere. But if you set it up yourself, it's going to cost us like the hardware one-time cost of maybe $60. And then it'll cost us like $2 a month. So there's really good margins on selling proxies.
Selling proxies?
Well, so I can go the exact what I'm talking about, where I'm saying I'm going to have you set this up, or I want you to help set this up if that's possible.
But you can do the same thing today for $100 a month.
I can go
Already
pay
do it?
for a proxy, yeah, and I'll pay $100 a month.
Oh, okay. So why? That sounds like chump change for what your bigger picture.
Well, I want to do this for like 20 different accounts, so that's going to cost me $2,000 a month. Or
Got
I have a
it.
one-time setup fee of $1,200, and I never really pay again. And
Why would you focus on multiple accounts?
I'm not running accounts. I'm focusing on making the system. So I'm hiring, you know,
Why do
well,
you want to do it for 20 accounts?
20 different content creators?
I never have been able to delegate as well as I'll be able to delegate in India because I'm always restricted by cost. Correct. And so, for example, I should have hired someone else to be the delegator who continues to hire more TikTok people to make videos, even when my videos are costing me $5 per video. The funny thing is, in India, again, for a content creator, $20 a day is a really good deal for them. How many videos can they make in an hour of the TikToks? Well, on each phone, you can log into 8 accounts. You can do easily a video in 15 minutes. Yes, there's lots of great English speakers. I mean, 30% of India speaks English. That's 600 million people. That's more people that speak English than in America.
Without the
30% like great,
Without that-
top grade English.
or does it sound like the what we think of as the Indian accent?
I mean, you have a range. It's a spectrum still, of course.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, that's more viral on American TikTok because you're looking for uniqueness.
Foreign language.
Correct. Foreign people always go more viral when they live in America and they post to American TikTok. Because same thing in person, when you meet a foreign person, they're more unique and interesting to you.
So you're gonna. So I'm just a.
So the warehouse in general,
I have idea what you mean.
if it's running and I have 20 people filming
20,
TikToks.
and these are 20 people, content creators effectively.
Yeah.
And any one of them you're hoping goes viral.
Yeah. And if one of them goes viral,
Are they representing themselves as being in India?
doesn't matter. I mean, the warehouse won't look like that, but
Do you care? Are you trying to hide
no.
what you're at?
No, I don't think you would be into that.
No, not at all.
You
know? No.
It's going to be I am going to be extra interesting on the internet if I have a warehouse and I have 20 TikTok creators and we're just making content and they're blowing up my Nutri-Healer brand and I'm starting other brands. It's a good story.
I know, Jackson, I know I wasn't supposed to speak about it, but your Nutri-Healer bars are great. Like, people really want them and like them.
Yeah.
I've told him a million times.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
You should just go straight back into that.
I know.
I am. That's one of the things I'm doing out there. That's actually one of the
Just
main
get
reasons to get the
new
warehouse.
stuff first is what all I can say.
What's the
Like,
new
below
stuff?
my
What's new?
The business just doesn't have money.
What
But
new stuff?
do you know how you're
You
gonna
get
get money? You're gonna just
Who wants to invest?
wait. No,
We'll make a good deal.
no. Listen. Jackson. Look at me. Jackson.
What?
You need to blow out all that inventory.
Correct, that's what the plan is.
Just blow it out. You buy 2 and I'll give you this box of 10. Blow it out, and then you'll have a small pool of money with which you'll do what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Only you'll.
So my plan is
and they'll
find a
do that.
CEO, get it listed on WeFunder, while also getting some TikTokers.
Why can't you be the CEO? You need to just be the CEO.
No, the reason I'm
Just
going to
start
India is so that I
being
have other
CEO.
CEOs.
Start
I am going to.
being
I have
and
an
then
entire
it's-
training inside of Notion of my entire mind of what I should do. And yes, I will just send videos or give them the sauce in person. That is much better
I
to
feel
take,
like
or
that-
else I take 2 steps forward and then I have to go 1 step back.
Is it possible, though, a downside of a great desire to find a CEO means you compromise and end up with a shitty CEO?
And
How?
they
How? I mean,
they get the business.
Some
from
high
it
percent
somehow.
of people who say they could be
They
your
steal the
CEO are going to
business
be
from
shitty CEO. So you have to be selective.
Oh, for sure.
It's
The cool
still a
thing
business
is,
idea.
again, in America, I couldn't hire a top tier CEO that had already, if you're good at business in America, you're making 100 grand a year, and I'm not going to pay you that. Now I go to India, and I pay
Your risk is lower.
12K a year. I'm paying top tier
Yeah,
rate.
It doesn't mean it's higher quality of work.
But what you're not understanding is that, look, like people in India are smarter than people in
I'm not saying
America.
They're not at all. They work harder too, I'm sure.
Why do most like big companies are now hiring Indian CEOs? They've got the dog in them. It's a different culture out there. It costs a lot less. It's simply better. So saying, oh, you're paying less, that doesn't necessarily make it better, is not really a valid statement.
I don't think it's anything
I don't
about
know
the
if it's
cost.
system.
It's the control. It's the.
I don't know why.
Exactly what comes out of there. You built that. You should be proud of that. That was all you, and you
What is the current
redesigned
state
the
of
packaging.
it? What percent ownership do you have? in
80.
Nutri-Healer? You still have 80?
Mm-hmm.
It
And
is
what
a
are you saying about
good-
it?
I mean, if those
did you say-
bars work,
just so I can get caught up.
could
Is
sell.
there something new that is now, because the high failure rates, that's not holding them back?
Oh, it's absolutely holding him back. For sure. For sure. That's why you just gotta blow out all that inventory.
And then what? How does it get, and then,
These are all bad.
yeah, but I mean,
And
but
this
he has
is-
to have a plan to get the manufacturer.
This
to
is like
improve their
one
quality.
person buying
Are they
one.
throwing away all the bad ones? Or are you
No,
keeping them?
I'm keeping them.
Cool.
And
You
I
have them
will
all?
get credit.
Oh,
I
but
get
I'm saying,
credit.
are they throwing them away? Because I want all the bad ones that are good for videos. I want to bring them to
Oh,
India.
yeah. Well,
Who they?
Oh no, I don't know what they are doing with
All
it,
right.
but I want.
I need to go to the warehouse
Yeah.
to go pick up a bunch. I should also pick. I have 2 free checked bags on my flight. Oh, and I didn't book the flight for some reason. It didn't go through. I'm gonna book it right now. But there's one on the 2nd to Bengaluru for $680, which is like awesome. So
Yeah.
Right.
turns out Bengaluru or Bangalore is always $500 cheaper than Delhi. Yeah. So and that's where I'm planning on actually being because that's the Silicon capital.
Yeah, that's more of a tech central.
Also, one of the reasons why I can get top tier talent in India is simply because I have white privilege big out there.
Oh, really?
Where it's like Pratik for one guy who works at a VC firm out there is just like constantly helping me, asking me, simply because it's like I'm his cool American friend. You know what I mean? Like it's cool.
Right.
So there's just like sick value.
But
I'm just gonna kill it.
If I were you, what I would do is I would literally blow through, ridiculously sell everything that's there for a really low price, and with that money, I would take that money and reinvest in good bars that won't do this. I mean, the bars were good. They just sat too long and the battery's done. It's the battery's done.
Oh, so it's getting
It's
worse
very
and worse?
rare.
Yeah.
It was, oh yeah. It's getting worse and worse. Like I can have a whole box, and in a box maybe 2 work.
Oh my lord. So that whole inventory is...
It's dead inventory.
Oh.
And it's a lot of it.
So is that
I've
something
seen
you knew about the product? That over time it...
What?
It's good for me. So like, it's okay for me.
She's in the store.
Because I'm in the store and I can say, oh, that one didn't hit, take another. And try that one. Oh, that one didn't, take another.
No
but
nicotine.
what they're doing is they're shipping
Hoping
them,
people quit.
finding out they don't work, shipping them back, sometimes shipping them another. If that one doesn't work, it's
So we'll just start double shipping.
double ship for sure, but triple ship. I mean, I would get rid of your inventory
Yeah.
and start over.
Fact of the matter is, once I have a CEO to run it, yeah, that business is amazing. Like, it was something I ran with my
But
pink.
is there a lesson learned that you cannot buy too far ahead because of the limits of the battery?
We didn't buy too far ahead based on the numbers we were running.
I agree. I think
We just stopped advertising
he
completely.
took his eyes off it.
I took my energy over to social bursts.
Well, all I meant was you bought too far ahead for reality, because the reality is it ended up sitting on the shelf. I didn't mean it was bad planning in the moment. I meant it is something you have to watch out for.
I think he bought correctly had he kept his attention on.
But you're right, hindsight is 2020, Dad.
Right.
I should always have full
Well,
hindsight.
so I mean,
I should go.
Did you know by that it would do that?
No.
No.
Well, then there's a lesson to be learned from it. That's
No,
all I'm
Lee,
saying.
you're not, he was also losing a ton of sales because he didn't have product.
Correct.
So he took his stock.
We were sold out of
attention
stock
to it.
for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
3
he
weeks
stopped
or a
paying
month.
attention to it.
Then the sales died.
And then
Because I drive all the sales.
Right.
You're being very defensive. All I'm saying
He's not
is,
being defensive.
well, you are. Then. The two of you are.
Overall,
my whole point
overall,
is there's
overall,
such a thing as
overall,
too little,
overall.
and there's such a thing as too much. That's all I'm saying.
I do want to say this. Overall, I honestly, whenever I talk about the shit I'm doing, I know it sounds like I might be seeking advice. I just want excitement.
Yeah.
All I'm seeking is like excitement.
Yeah.
Because like in my head, I'm doubting myself and I have a lot of concern myself enough. And I'm thinking a lot about what should be done. And I've gone through like sort of these paths. And so yes, it's like, okay, then I can battle it with you and tell you and try to explain why I'm thinking this way. And yes, there are good tidbits of information. That's a given. But the pro of those tidbits of information is much smaller compared to like when I just get motivated.
You know what that means.
Like if I'm just happy and excited about everything I'm doing, I get a lot of better work done. I've noticed that actually changes a lot of my capability to do things over stress. I need to enjoy the process. And I very much don't enjoy like the concern and fighting concern. Because the life of business seems to be always fighting concern. And it's really like my favorite parts of business is when it's shared like, oh, this is gonna work, this is exciting.
But
That's when things work.
But
Whoa.
how is, but I
Who
mean, it's
doesn't
just
like
business.
that?
Business involves risk, and it involves concern. How can you avoid it?
I think it's an important thing to learn.
You're having concern about having positive faith. I've found that in all the things I'm doing, the biggest thing that kills them is a lack of belief from whoever's working on them. So it's like, would the thing work if the work got done? Yes. But why does the work not get done? A lack of belief in the work. And that's true for me as well.
Probably a lack of, I think anyone who has the idea, it's like, for me, like I have the ideas and I'm the one who, since it's my idea, I feel like I'm the best one to execute on that idea because it's mine. And I've already kind of mapped it out in my head and tried, I can't tell you how the dumbest things that I think that I explain so clearly in my mind. It's like there's no possible way this can be messed up.
I do agree. Some people.
I feel like I'm
taking more time
so
delegating.
clear.
than
I am
you do.
so clear, and I think there's absolutely no way this can get messed up.
Because you're hiring B grade people. And it's like, this is a big problem for me as well. I've hired a lot of B grade people. It's
But
like,
you,
you just need to
have
only
no
hire A
idea
players.
who you've hired. I can't tell you how many times I've changed my interview process. I've changed the questions. I've learned from, okay, this is the thing that will make me lose an employee.
I think you play a
fastest.
game of Stratego.
You do, and you don't.
Well, I'm
sometimes
saying you
hit
need
the
to. I'm
lottery.
saying you need to play set. I'm saying start just playing game. Like go to lunch, pull out these smart games, and these are good IQ tests. Speed of
I
recognition.
think though that was like Pratik's point on the phone of like not just doing a salary.
What do you mean?
Like I think you can build a model where if people are going viral, then they get paid.
100%. Yeah, and I did do that for New Trailer, and it again the belief system. People did 2 videos and they stopped. If you're not getting paid, there's so many affiliate opportunities out there. It's like, if this is worth my time, why won't they pay me for my time, right? So the best way is
I get that.
payment with incentivization. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you're gonna get this base amount. This is basically minimum wage. And in America, that was still $5 a video. In India,
Well, also in
My
India, I wouldn't worry.
video
as much
cost is
about-
10 times less
I wouldn't worry
about the
as much
salary.
salary.
Exactly.
Not
And then the
because it's
incentives
cheaper,
are
but
insane
because-
for them.
Because the people in America just don't do anything.
Can I say,
That
I
as well.
actually do think I have some input. I think I have input. There's something about, so I have my two Instagram accounts, and then we had 2 TikTok accounts, and I had people running them, and people asking me to run them. Oh, can I do that? This would be the best thing in the whole wide world if I could run these. And, we set up the parameters. This is what you get. This is what I pay for this. Oh, yes, this is amazing. And then as soon as something happens, as soon as they get some traction and they start moving, they all of a sudden think they're worth more and they should get paid more. And now it's not worth their time to get paid the pitty little amount that I'm paying them. And how dare I, even though we sat down, had the conversation, agreed to this thing, right? And all of us, like within 2 months, the resentment kicks in. I don't know how to fight that resentment.
You know what?
And that's what I think.
Yeah.
If you
I
like
agree.
are
And how do you fight that resentment? Go to fucking India, where when you're giving $1,000 a month, people are like, let's fucking go. You're paying $70K a year. That, you are paying a $100K a year salary when you're paying $1,000 a month in India.
Amy and I have pondered incentive systems. It's very, very, very tricky.
I think it's
very
tricky with who I'm working with.
I was gonna say,
At the end of the day, I think the only incentive system is the one where it's not coming from you. You're just passing through some percentage of the advertising. I mean,
totally
you won't,
It's like
you
sales,
won't
pay your
create.
numbers and-
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
why? I'm not paying you any more than I'm making.
Right.
It's got to make something.
Yeah, totally. That's why I think sales, because I do commissions structures at my work, and it's always just like, go ahead and spend 50 hours a week extra doing, whatever, but hit the number, and like, it's literally just a percentage, and I have this whole model, and it's like, so it's not just based off of what you think that they're producing.
It's just amazing to me how quickly they go from
Yeah.
excitement
Right.
to actually
Resentment.
resentment. It's
I'm trying to think.
and I've seen it over and over and over now, and I'm like, wow, how? And I think maybe it is an America
So,
thing.
are they-
It
Maybe
is.
it's an America.
America is so privileged.
Yeah,
It's because
I
we're.
was gonna say, people in India are so
entitled.
thankful.
Yo, it's
Right.
crazy. It's like, I think a piece of it comes from we're surrounded by a lot of money. So, especially when you're young, you can think really highly of your value. So you haven't been like tapered down to be like, I don't understand the full system of it. And you're sort of like, yeah. So a lot of people think they're worth a lot more than they are. And then there's like, I don't know, I think our culture's shifting somewhat. We're just fucking lazy at the end of the day. We just lost the dog. We just don't have the dog. So you can live a life where you look good enough on social media, and that's what you care more about. We're more about status now. That's the problem. Status over value.
Well, and this won't ever get out to her employees, right? But I mean, she's dealing with a class privilege of the privileged kind of thing. So she's going to see it in spades.
Are they posting, like, are you handing over your account to them and they're running that account? Because I'm wondering if they are getting more views on their personal accounts by posting stuff on your store, and that's why they want to do it so bad to begin with.
Someone wanted on their resume,
No.
right? Some wanted on their
I
resume.
don't think so.
Yeah, resume.
And then once
No,
they
my
get one, they got
accounts
it on
don't
their
do as
resume.
well as their personal account. They do better. I mean, our TikTok went. We took off like on a straight shot, and somebody told me something. I don't remember what you guys said before about it being.
They told
shadow basically, yeah.
Interesting.
We did something they didn't like. I don't know.
What's shadow ban?
You don't. You're shielded from being seen.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just
I do
get
feel
minimized. A lot of people say I got shadow banned, but at the end of the day,
They might have just had shitty content.
correct. So the algorithm serves the people, and so when people say like the algorithm changed, it was like what people were liking changed. If your content is good, it will get shown to people. The algorithm is very good at catching like this got a lot of views.
That's kind of a hard thing for you though, because like they could be making cute videos or
Oh,
whatever.
they're so cute.
I'm sure.
They're
But then,
cute,
like,
but
they
they're
would
not-
have
they're
no
not
content
creative.
without you.
Right.
Yeah. So
They're
it's
cute,
like-
mom, but like I think your videos are not viral or creative.
The dumbest ones went
Did
viral.
that.
Correct.
Where we would hold a shirt up, like 2 million views on which shirt do you like best, and then we did the cutest,
That is more viral.
funniest
That made me
things.
think it was just random.
It is almost ridiculous,
No.
I swear.
Those were hitting the hold your best friend. It's
The
what
thing is,
if there's these things that go
correct.
viral.
There's
You
these
can't
things.
go-
There's something to a viral video, and I've watched people who truly understand the algorithm make those tiny things, which are dumb, happen because they know that they're making this dumb video and this small thing in this video is the reason why this experience, each video is somewhat of a different experience, is better. And like they're formulaic and they hit and they go viral non-fucking
This
stop.
one, this one, this one, or this one.
Something that it actually detects out of the video, AI detects out of the video?
No, they're understanding human psychology to a varying degree.
Oh.
So putting a small little alien stuffed animal in the corner of one shot, spelling one word wrong with an R rather than an E. People go to the comments because of that. People comment about that. More engagement.
Oh yeah,
Triggers.
Are you
So no, and you know what? One of the best things to do is to take your negative comment, post it.
Do to reply to comment.
Oh yeah.
Because it'll tag at each person that liked that comment. So you'll get an instant influx of traffic, which will game the algorithm for you.
It's
And
like-
people like people like controversy.
People be like, oh, that's terrible that they said that. That's so mean.
Right, they'll comment
Yeah.
being nice.
Yes.
Because they want
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
nice to the controversy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it can feel like the algorithm is really weird, but then again, since there are people who have honed in on it and have it as a skill to understand that shit. What is weird is people. What is weird is our brains and what we choose to watch a full video of for some weird triggers that make us stick around and our attention to stay and not to swipe. And so it's for videos which are just like they're well produced, they look good, it's cinematic, and it's clean. These do bad on TikTok. You know, it's too corporate. It's too much like you're basically watching an ad. No one wants to watch an ad. You have to make ads that don't look like ads.
I don't care anymore because I don't have the online store, so I
Yeah.
don't care. That thing was I mean at the top we did $20,000 in a year. That was the top, and it took a ridiculous amount of effort to do that.
Right.
Whereas I can do
What
that
I'd-
in a week.
What
in
I'd
the
like to
store.
do is it's pretty easy to add a custom, like how we've set it up, pretty easy to add a custom button on one of those subverses and launch it as an app. So I think like it would be pretty easy to make a Boutique 816 app and then they click a buy it now button. And you basically scroll through the links.
It doesn't matter. It'll never be a cost-effective model. A boutique should not be on.
But this is
It's just
the thing about, so then the model of why you do that is you do some small amount of sales there. And that business is very much so ready to go raise venture capital because it's combining TikTok and Shein, basically.
Yeah, we got
And
up
that's
to,
massive.
we had the most TikTok viewers of any store on the street.
If you make a tech platform
well.
and you get revenue, you will go raise money. Right? You have a working app, you have revenue, and you have a business behind it or a businesswoman that has been quite successful. Older, there's the prestige to it. She can go raise $2 million.
to do what?
Scale that.
Don't want a piece of the current business.
Okay, and if you get $2 million, is that bad? You pay yourself a good salary. Stop working at the boutiques. You hire people. You do what you do to me.
I love the boutiques.
What you do is you become truly what you do to me. Where I think
I'm
the way you guys,
horrible delegator. I want to do it myself. I hate delegation.
not when you talk to me, you delegate to me
I'm
exactly what I should
delegating
do.
to you to say, don't delegate. Do it yourself.
And that's wrong.
That has always been my.
So what
just
you need to
that
feel
one-
like-
you could spend 2 hours on it a day and do an amazing job, and that's all it would take is 2 hours a day. Take care of that business, make that thing a revenue stream for you, which it's your best bet for quick revenue stream.
No.
Get rid of the old inventory, get new inventory in that works. Do all your content creation thing, and it'll blow up again. And run it yourself.
Go to India, tell someone to do that. Profit.
Another thing, like, because I know, I'm speaking on a very low level. My stuff is like this, and you're working at a way higher vibration of what you think it's going to do versus what I think mine's going to do. But now I lost my train of thought. Shoot. Oh, I come up with the best ideas. I'm telling you, you got your idea creation from me. I know, like you have it in spades, but I'm like, we'll sit down to have a meeting and I'm like, oh wow, do this, and this, and this.
And that's what makes you great.
And they don't do it.
Right.
They don't do it. And I know you have to be experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do it. I'm
America.
like, what happened to that idea?
Like you
We
did
sat
it
down and
for
we
years.
talked about this. Why did you do this completely other thing?
I do think in India they will be so unselfish. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I think they will be so much better.
No, that's why while I was in Philippines, even there, it was more comfortable. And I was realizing, like, I'm texting all my India employees for all the main shit I want done because I know it's going to get done great. And I'm like...
Yeah, the only...
So that's interesting. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe he could have someone get Nutrihealer under control.
I will be.
But you still will oversee, but...
I'm going to do so fucking good in India, it's going to be ridiculous.
Would it matter?
I'm buying a flight right now.
If we were there